My name is Amy, and I get to be the Connections Director here at Fellowship. So part of what that means is I get to meet the new folks and all the fun with that. But a big part of that is also missions. So I just want to give an update on our mission trip that we just took. We came home a week ago. So we partner with Bold Hope. Bold Hope is an international missions organization that's so Christ-centered. This is our 4th trip with them. So we traveled to the Dominican Republic. So there was a team of 18 of us here at Fellowship or Fellowship Friends, and we also partnered with Grace Fellowship out of Pennsylvania. So total, there were 24 of us, plus translators and other staff. You can probably barely see that, but that gives you a little bit of an idea. But we were there to do a few different things. But before I want to tell you what we were there to do, I want to tell you what you as a church actually did, whether you know it or not. So part of our heart of serving Bold Hope is not only to serve the people we're going to go serve, like the people in Altavia and Batibrador and Los Mulos is a new community that you see right there, but it's also to serve the staff. So there's 9 staff that run all the ins and outs of the day. They teach Bible lessons, English classes, all the above. So church, what you got to do, we had an Amazon wish list, and you can do that next slide. On their wish list was a projector. That's the picture on, I guess, your left, right, anyway. The one with the pink shirt, that's a projector, right? So it was on their wish list. I didn't really know why and all the above, but I knew they needed it because they wouldn't ask for it otherwise. So what we learned, and you can see the joy on Mary's face, when we gave that to her, I felt like, I don't know, Jesus really working in it through. It was such a joyful moment. She literally dropped to her knees and started crying just to get this battery-operated projector. And I was like, God, what's the story here? What I then learned is that 1 week before, on Fridays, when they go out to Batibrador that we've talked about before, there's no electricity, there's barely running water, it comes on twice a day. But what happened that Friday before is they were going out to Batibrador and they were going to have a cinema night. And they worked on that projector that they priorly had for an hour and a half to try to give these kids an experience. I mean, we take watching movies, looking at our phone for granted. They don't have that. So showing up the very next week and giving them this gift that you guys provided through your contributions, it really meant the world. So then just look at that picture of myself and Roberta with the water bottle. Beth, will you fast forward to the next slide? Friday, they got to have a cinema de Brador, whatever. She sent me some photos. It's not great. But what was awesome is 1, the Friday next, they got to have it. 2, it rained out the wazoo on that day. And you think of all the different activities in this little community, there's not much to do when it rains except either get muddy or play inside. They got to have a movie night, you guys. So because of your generosity, they were able to have that. They can continue having cinema nights with all the different communities. So you did that. Backtrack to that picture of the water bottle. Something we take for granted is water bottles. But that was on the staff's wish list, an insulated water bottle. So through the Amazon wish list, you guys gave 9 different water bottles. We gifted them those. I wasn't expecting much, but y'all, the joy that they had just to get an insulated water bottle because it gets really hot, 97-degree heat index, it was beautiful, was so good. And what I learned is right now we're the only church that gives gifts to the staff. So guys, thanks for being generous. They literally said, Fellowship Asheville, you're my favorite. It's not about being their favorite. It's really about serving them because they're serving day in and day out through different things, and they just really feel the love. So thanks for being part of that. Next slide, what did we do? So what we got to do, someone before us got to build that pavilion, but around that pavilion, you'll kind of see a cinder block wall. So that wasn't there before. We got to lay rebarb. We got to pour concrete in there, got to put cinder blocks on it, do all the things that you do. And then the last day, wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of dirt and rock that filled it up. So eventually they're going to build a road right there in Altavia. So they need that platform, per se, to be built up for future planning. So if it does rain, it doesn't flood it out. So there was a team that did that. Also, if you were here years ago, you may remember that in Altavia, which is where that is part of where we were praying alongside Bold Hope of where to put a community center, where to put a well. It's really hard to see, but the well is there to the left. It's blue. So the well's there. So the money that we were able to contribute, plus a lot of other generous donors, went to a well. So this community finally has running water. So Bold Hope is generously letting anyone who needs it get water. So the well's there, and also that is part of the land that we were able to help purchase. So church, thanks for continuing to love on them and provide in ultimate ways that only God knows about. All right, fast forward to the next one. In addition to hard work and sweat and tears, there was a lot of us that simply got to play with kids. And I say simply, it was hard work. Like, I've never sang a song that many times or tried to dance around like this girl doesn't dance. But it was so fun just to see the joy through them. We made bracelets, we made necklaces all week long. But what seems kind of minor to us, it was so much joy on these kids' faces. It was just fun, right? So the parents could have a break, have a respite as we played with the kids, got to teach them about Jesus through song and dance and Bible stories. So that's what the other team of us did. And then lastly, there was a team of 8 of us that got to be guinea pigs for Bold Hope. And when I talk about sponsoring a kid, part of the sponsorships are giving them education, like they get to go to school, teaching them English, doing health care, so doctor's visits next week. Actually, no, tomorrow. Today starts the medical clinic. So for the week, so you can be praying for that. And then documentation, and lastly, groceries. So for the family development program, each family gets a thing of groceries. So there were 8 of us that got to go shopping for that, along with Jonathan. And then we got to come back to the office and actually put these grocery bags together. So it was the first time I got to see firsthand like what those groceries are. So it's things like flour, rice, beans, canned fish, canned tomato sauce, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, all that. So I finally got to see like what is it exactly that goes in these bags. And then after we assembled 40 bags for Altavia, we then got to come back to Altavia, break up into teams, and then go around and pray for and with the families. It was a beautiful experience. That's one of the things that most people take back from a highlight of the trip, is just really being able to see the families that we support. So I got to see Timoteo and Nairobi. Those are the 2 kids that we get to support as a church. So thanks for being part of that. It's good to see them healthy and strong. And that's kind of the recap of it. If you want to learn more about what we're doing with Bold Hope, if you want to hear stories, I don't have it on the calendar yet, but I do plan to do some kind of recap, maybe a lunch after church. So just if you don't get our emails, be sure to scan that QR code, and then some plans will be coming out soon about the recap, what it means to go on another trip if you want to, or what it means to be a sponsor for the family development program. So guys, thanks for supporting us from afar, and those that went, I'm so glad you went. And guys, thanks for being a church that's generous and loves people from across the world.